Hello, my name is Joan, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some mistake a lot of creators make, and we're going to be diving into it really quickly. And before I go into my points, I have them written. Before I go into my points, I'd like you to subscribe to this channel and join this community. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. The very first thing is when a content creator does not do their research. You just go, you copy what every other person is doing. You don't do some research to actually ensure that the data you're sharing is backed up. You don't do some research to actually educate yourself further on the nature of the content you're sharing. If you're doing this kind of a thing, there will be nothing that differentiates you from other people, nothing will be distinctive about you. You will not be able to create a unique niche and a unique signature for yourself. So it's important that you do your research, and even though you're doing what every other person is doing, let there be some sort of authenticity and something different and unique about you. Let there be something that differentiates you from every other creator, right? You can be in the same industry with another person, but you can have a signature touch that will differentiate you. And the major thing that can help you achieve that is when you do your research. You get your data right, you get your information right, you ensure that you have the right sources, right? Even if you're in the entertainment industry, which does not necessarily require some research, you can actually do some research about how other people do what they do, and it can also help you to be more creative in your own approach, in your own delivery, even in the way your work is being edited, how it is presented, and the typefaces you use, the font types you use, your hook or your call to action. So there is absolutely no niche that cannot do research. If you are in this content business, you create content, you want to earn online, you need to ensure that you do your research, you have your data backed, right? You even, put your resources there, especially when you're a very informative channel, you are in the knowledge economy, right? You have to ensure that whatever you're sharing is backed by data. Now, the second point is not committing to growth. So, what this means is that even if you start out using your phone, not using microphones, not having a proper studio, as time goes on, you need to commit to continual growth. I will not say don't start your YouTube channel or your content creation simply because you don't have all the gadgets. Start with whatever you have. I mean, we've seen videos that went viral that were not exactly excellent. The person did not use any sophisticated gadgets or whatsoever, but they went viral. However, you should not remain that way. So even if you start out using what you have, ensure to invest back into the gadgets and the equipment you're using for your production, right? So if you're using a particular kind of phone, you can upgrade to a higher phone, or from a higher phone, you can eventually get a camera, right? So even if you started out editing some thumbnails yourself, editing the videos yourself, eventually when you're earning and you're making more, you can actually outsource the editing, especially if you know editing is not a skill that comes naturally to you, right? You can outsource it. So commit to growth, commit to ensure that even if you're starting out with what you have, don't continue with what you have. Keep adding more to what you have, right? The third one, which is so important, in fact, many of these other points is heavily hinged on this. Be a part of a community. Not being a part of a community will actually shortchange you. You will not be able to maximize your experience as a content creator. The level of growth that you should attain or achieve, you will not be able to achieve it as a lone ranger. What are some of the benefits of being in the community? Support, engagement, and then you learn from each other, you learn from other people's mistakes, and you learn from what is working for other people. So having a community of people with a shared vision, a shared value to grow together is so important. I am big on community. I currently have a community for creators, people who want to earn online. So you can actually check the description part of this video and be a part of the community. Plug in, right? We share what we do, we learn together, and we grow together. So being a part of a community is so important, especially if you're an upcoming content creator, if you're just starting. If you already have a huge amount of following, you have a large number of views, you're established well, good for you. But if you are just starting, it is so important that you are a part of a community, because there are lots of mistakes you can avoid simply by learning from other people, and there are ways you can accelerate your growth simply by being a part of a community, because you learn from what is working for other people. People will tell you, oh, this is what worked for me, and you can apply it, right? There are new development that is, coming out every day, new tech tools, new things you can do, new tricks, and stunts you can pull, to make your content stand out, to make your content more unique. So being a part of a community can help you access those things, the latest tools you can use to make your work easier, to make your editing easier, to make your audio easier, your lightning, to create a background, all stuffs like that. So being a part of a community cannot be overemphasized. So if you are not a part of a community, you can join my community, or you can as well do your research and join any other community you want. But if you'd like to join my community, the link is in the description part of this video, so ensure to be a part of it. The next one is not collaborating. So you might even be in a community, but you're not collaborating with other people. I've seen collaborative posts where a person will make reference to another creator. That is collaboration, because that person will also create content and make reference to this other creator. That way, you are cross-bridging your audience, right? You're sharing your audience. You're cross-breeding your audience, you're sharing your audience, you're sharing knowledge, and so that way you're gaining more reach, you're getting to more people. So do not be a lone ranger, collaborate. You can even be in a community, but you are still a lone ranger in that community. So when you're in a community, be active. So if, for example, you join a community and someone leaves what they've done, go engage with it, share it, leave a comment. When the person the owner of the content in the community sees how you're engaging their content, they will do the same for you. But unfortunately, a lot of people are always waiting for other people to do things for them. Nobody wants to take the first step, and if you have that mentality, you might not be able to do well in a community, because to really thrive in a community, you have to be a person that is an early adopter. You have to be a person that is willing to take the first step, be the first to, engage, be the first to initiate a conversation about collaborating. Don't wait for people to come and meet you. You take the initiative, you take the first step, right? If it works, fine. If it does not work, fine. And the good thing about this content space is that there's no cheating. If you say, oh, let's collaborate, and the person you try to have a conversation with is not willing, you move to the next person. And when you find a willing person, you do it together, and the both of you will share the benefits, right? So don't be in a community and not be a collaborator. Be in a community, be active, participate in everything that they are doing. If there are events, make sure you show up, clear out your schedule, be a part of it. If other people have things they are doing, show up for them so that they can show up for you as well. And like I always say, the seeds we sow and the things will drip. So if you are not sowing the seed, you will not reap it. And I know that sometimes, even in sowing the seed, sometimes you will not even reap the seed where you've sown it. But trust me, you will definitely reap the seed, even if you don't reap it from the place you sow the seed. So if you're sowing that seed of collaborating with other people, supporting other people, you will also get the same thing. It will always come back. It's a law of life. Whatever you sow is what you reap. So be a collaborator, don't be a lone ranger, right? Work with other people. If nobody's approaching you for collaboration, you be the initiator, right? Talk to someone, send a DM, like reach out to people. Can we do this together? And work with people, right? The next thing is not growing in quality, right? This is actually relating with not committing to growth. It's important that you grow in the quality of what you're sharing. You must grow in substance, right? So the nature of content you're sharing, how well have you improved on them? So if you have a niche that you've chosen, if you have a niche that you have decided to, Okay, let's say you have a niche that you've picked as your niche. How well are you growing in the quality of content you share with regards to your niche? Are you saying the same thing over and over? Are you just copying every other person, or you are doing the work to ensure that what you're doing is rich? The people that are giving their watch time to your channel are not wasting their time. They are getting value, right, for their time on your channel. So don't be a person that people will come on your channel and then they'll feel like they wasted their time. Ensure that every time a person comes to your channel, they are getting value for their time. Commit yourself to deliver quality. So whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram, whatever it is you're doing, ensure that you are serving value. Ensure that every time a person comes across your content, they are served value. The value can be entertaining, it can be informative, it can be educative, whatever it is, just ensure that every time people are seeing you on their mobile phones or on their laptops, every time you show up before people, they know that you've got value, you've got something to give. So there is nothing that can beat having a reputation of being a person of value. There's nothing that can beat having a reputation of being a person that every time people come to your channel, they know that you're going to give, right? You'll be giving, right? You give, right? Okay, so the next point is not learning from other creators. You see, when you're in a community or even outside your community, you can learn from other creators. And the person may not even necessarily be in your niche. The person might be operating in a different niche, but some principles are universal. You can learn excellence. You can look at a person's page, look at the aesthetics, look at the kind of, the way they coin their topics, the way they use their hooks, all those things like that. You can learn from other people. So don't be a lone ranger, right? Yeah, coming back to community, right? So learn from other people. So within your community and even outside your community, make sure you are learning from other creators. So go to people's pages, look through what they are doing, look through what they've done, watch their videos. What are the kind of things they bring in the course of their conversations? How are they doing what they do? What are the principles? What are the secrets they spill in the course of their conversations? Listen for that. So be a person that is also willing to learn from other creators. These things are so important. Ensure that you learn from other creators. And one more thing I'd like to add is ensure that every time you are appearing before your camera, you give it excellence, right? I'm not against appearing on camera, being natural, that is without makeup. As you can see, I'm on makeup right now, but there are videos I've done where I'm not on makeup. But the point is, ensure that you look clean. Whether you're on makeup or you're not on makeup, look clean. Wear a nice outfit. Like, this is just a simple round neck with a simple branding, and I have my background right there. And if you don't have a really nice background, you can actually use a fake background. You can download the picture, use a fake background, edit it on CapCut, and there are lots of videos and tutorials on how you can do this. Just make sure that every time you appear before your camera, you give that excellence to it, at least with what you have, right? With what you have at the level you are, make sure that you are giving your best with the current resources you have. You may not have the most sophisticated phone or the most sophisticated studio, but the current resources you have, there is a level of excellence you can achieve even with what you have. So do your research, learn how to upskill yourself, learn how to refine your skills, learn how to do what you're doing well so that you can serve the best to your audience. Make sure that anytime a person comes to you, they are not wasting their time, right? And even when you're offering value, they are not looking at you and they're like, oh my God, I'm being distracted. What is she wearing? What is he wearing? Why is that thing dangling in the background, right? Why is that sound? Where is that sound coming from, right? That can even distract people from the value you're offering, right? So ensure that you always appear clean and your environment looks clean, cool, and neat and not distracting, right? Remember to subscribe to this channel. I have amazing contents I'll be coming. And if you have not joined my community, join or do your research and find a community that you should belong to. It is so important to be a part of a community. And finally, if you have questions or if there are more tips about mistakes you think content creators should avoid. Share yours in the comments, or if there is something you've learned that has helped you as a content creator, let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear from you as well. And if this has actually blessed you, if there's something you've learned, let me also know. It encourages me to know that I'm sharing value, because I want to be a value sharer. I want to be a value added person. I think I am actually, but I want to remain so, and I like to know that I have added value to your life. So let me know in the comments one or two things you've learned from here, and if there are things you also want to add, please feel free to do so. And you can also support me by sharing this content with someone who may need it. Your WhatsApp status or a group you belong to will do just fine, or you can just send it as a direct message to someone's direct inbox, right? So thank you for staying with me, and thank you for watching. And my name is Joan Anolua. See you next time. Bye for now.